Last week it was a wide open battle. Suzuki GNCC Racing from Ohio. Charlie Mullins and Barry Hawk gave it everything they had to try to end the win streak of defending champ Juha Salminen. But Juha managed to grab the lead right before the checkered flag came out. But he got stuck and Hawk took the win.
Hello and welcome to Racer TV. I'm Rachel Ayers.
And I'm Rodney Smith, 5-time GNCC champion.
We're here in Spartan, Kentucky, the home of the Kentucky Speedway. The racetrack's just minutes down the road. We've had a 3-week break since the last race, and we had Barry win.
Yeah, definitely. Barry rode a great race. We actually had a 3-way battle going at that last race. We had Charlie Mullins and Juha Salminen and Barry Hawk were all three putting on a great race. And it came down to the last lap, and Juha made a little bit of a mistake. Actually, they all made some mistakes, but Barry was the rider that came out on top.
Last year, we had a confliction with Kentucky Speedway behind us, and we didn't actually race here. So Juha has never seen this track before.
Yeah, so we're looking for a good race here today. I think with Juha not seeing this track and Barry coming off with a win and having a lot of confidence going, that might be that little extra edge that he needs. And we still got Charlie Mullins that's looking for that first win of his, and I'm looking for him to be strong.
The races are getting more exciting every week. Let's go down to Jason and get a better look at the start.
All right, thanks a lot, Rachel and Rodney. Jason Wygant down here at the starting line for the Tire Ball Spartan GNCC. And since we filmed our opener, the skies have opened up. They just opened up. It's just sprinkling right now, but a heck of a lot of damage has already been done to this racetrack. It is super slimy out there. The rain is supposed to continue throughout the afternoon, so this is going to be wild. Let's give you an idea what the track looked like before it rained with our Scott USA helmet cam.
All right, here is the Spartan GNCC track brought to you by Tire Balls. Scott USA Helmet Cam will show you lots of roots, lots of rocks out here. There was a tremendous amount of rain Saturday night before we go racing out here. Now this is actually before that. The track was fairly dry at this point. By the time the racers get to it this afternoon, it is going to be very, very slippery. The ground here is very hard. It doesn't absorb the water. It just stays on top, and it gets very slimy, very slippery, even in these grassy field sections. Let's look at our field. Juha Salminen finally has a demerit. Finally lost a race. He's 6 or 7 this year, and of course it's a monster points league. Barry Hawk is the man that unseated him by winning our previous event, and Hawk, one of the all-time greats of this series, certainly will be in the hunt today. And Charlie Mullins, the 20-year-old rookie, waiting for a breakthrough ride in his first ever victory. As we say every week, it could come today. And same thing for this guy, Glenn Carney, waiting for his first win. Glenn has been struggling a bit as of late in these very, very muddy racetracks. He's an Australian. He likes racing in the dry a whole lot more than he likes racing in the wet. Either way, you see the umbrellas are out. It's going to be wet out here. It's going to be slippery, and a good start will help a ton. You do not want to get roosted out here, and the best way to prevent that is to get the whole shot. To the inside, the middle of the track, actually. I thought it was Williamson in the outside with the start, but it's actually going to turn out to be Mullins who grabs the Racer-X whole shot. Look out. You see how slippery this racetrack really is. Now look at Juha Salminen on the left. 3, 4 kicks. He's not even moving. The rest of these guys charging into turn 1. Nate Tanny, Justin Williamson. But around the inside, Mullins has got himself $100 from Racer-X. And more importantly than that, he has the early lead. He is cutting through fresh trail. He is all by himself. And Juha Salminen, well, he is way back in the pack right now. Hawk is up to the number 2 spot early. Look at this. There's still grass and vegetation down on the ground here. This is fresh trail. We have an amateur race and a youth race we run before this, but they cut new trail just for this afternoon. This is the first time these guys have seen this. Juha just came through there. You see him pulling roll-offs and tear-offs off the Scott goggles. He is going to be absorbing a lot of mud as he tries to work his way toward the front of the pack. And here is the front of it. Mullins, this is classic cross-country here. Just picking your way through. There's no practice or pre-running. You've just got to be smart out here. And Barry Hawk, he's got a lot of experience doing that. Let's talk to him.
Yeah, it's going to be ugly. And actually, the race that I had done last week, I think the conditions are going to be about exactly like they are today. So looking at the conditions today, I'm kind of glad I went last week. And hopefully it'll pay off for me today and can put myself back up on the podium in that number 1 position.
Well, that's what Barry wants. It's not going to be easy, though. You know Charlie Mullins is super motivated. Oh, meanwhile, here comes Juha, cutting his way through traffic. He just made a pass there. I think that was on Williamson, and now he's going after his teammate, Robbie Jenks. Juha is so fast early in these races, even if he gets a bad start, it would not be surprising to see him up with the leaders toward the end of the first lap. He is incredible, his sprinting skills. There's Carney picking his way through a very, very slimy racetrack. The rest of these guys find their way out. Cole Calkins there up in the hunt. Haven't seen much of Cole this year toward the front of the pack. Good to see that youngster up there near the top 10. One lap is now complete. The end of lap 1. Mullins and Hawk out front again. It's been the case for the last couple of rounds. And Juha has made it all the way to 3rd at the end of the last lap. And remember, he actually had to kick that bike several times to get it started. That's how fast this guy goes on the first lap of the racing. Jarrett, Whibley, Jenks, Williamson. We got a close pack behind him, but can anyone catch those 2 Yamaha boys out front? Stay with us. We'll find out. A lot more racing yet to come. Welcome back, Racer TV on Outdoor Life Network. Lots of GNCC fans here. Of course, brought to you by Suzuki, ITP, Rocky Mountain, Moose, Yamaha, and Polaris. Thanks for joining us here. Charlie Mullins out front. This guy, he's way overdue for a win. This youngster, very young, very fast, and so far unlucky, and that's the only thing that's kept him out of victory lane. But today he's got another golden opportunity with Juha Salminen back in the pack early. Barry Hawk is running the hunt. You see Jarrett, Whibley, Jenks, and Williamson. Great ride for Williamson, who's even younger than Mullins, believe it or not, and he's running up near the top 5 as well. So right now it continues with the Ampro Yamaha show. Hawk showing just how slick this track is, sliding left to right. How about Juha? He's able to get traction through that section, actually sitting down. You don't often see that, but there are some sections you sit down, get your weight over the back of the seat, over the rear tire, and you get traction, or otherwise you could not. It's a technique that Williamson is using there, trying to use the body weight to get as much traction as possible. It is very, very tough on this track, especially because you got to keep in mind, we have hundreds of amateurs out here as you watch Fred Andrews go by in the Monster Pro Circuit Kawasaki. And those amateurs will churn this track up. So every time the pros come through, FMF Suzuki's Glenn Carney here, dabbing his feet. The next time he comes through that section, it will be totally different. The ruts will be deeper. The holes will be bigger. Brian Henson there running inside the top 10. Look how fast Charlie Mullins is going through the field. He is trying to make hay while the sun shines. We don't mean the actual weather. It is cloudy and rainy right now. The sun is shining, though, because he has no competition right now. He has pulled away from Barry Hawk. There's Hawk in 2nd. And Juha, well, he's still way off the pace back there in 3rd. So Mullins is going to try to make a run for it. He has shown he does not have to follow guys. He is comfortable being out front of these races. Earlier in the year, he got nervous in this situation. I think he's past that. And this could be very dangerous for Hawk and for Salminen to let Mullins get away like this. Looks like Jarrett's going to pull in for goggles here. His fiancee Barb and his father John going to help him out, put goggles on. Barb gives him some advice and says, get going. He actually chose to bump start the bike instead of kick starting it. Just saving a little bit of energy there, and that will pay off. These are endurance races, man. 3 hours on the motorcycle. Sure, Jimmy could probably charge a fraction bit harder through that section, but you've got to conserve your energy. This is a marathon. It is not a sprint. Speaking of sprint, though, looks like Hawk has actually gotten back within sight of Mullins. And Juha is on the gas. The Finn is on the move, and he can smell blood. He knows the Yamaha boys aren't too far ahead. We might have a 3-rider battle before long. Mullins trying to pick his way through. Look at that line. Totally different. Wait a minute, that's Hawk. Hawk is taking the lead. So it looked like Hawk was getting a little more aggressive the last time we saw him, and he definitely has. It has paid off in his special test. Well, that didn't pay off at all. Basically, I guess this guy felt he wasn't getting to the top of the hill, so just get the bike there first and worry about yourself. If anyone wants a free Kawasaki, he'll give it to you. Hope the bike's okay. That's one strange way to get to the top of a hill climb. These guys, these pros, they make these sections look a lot easier than they are. Again, we got a lot of amateurs out here that work a day, folks. They don't get to ride every day. They work day jobs, and they come out here and race. And they race on the same track at the same time as Hawk and Mullins and Salminen. Another lap in the books for Juha. You see he's getting antsy. Let's go to our KTM product spotlight.
Hi, this is Jack Penton with the KTM Off-Road team and today's KTM Spotlight. Along with making a full line of off-road competition motorcycles, we also make a great line of clothing for all types of uses. Today we're going to take a look at riding gear. We have a full line from Thor, pants, the jersey, and all the accessories it takes to ride in off-road racing. We also have, along with that, equipment for working on your motorcycle, aprons, and other equipment for the mechanic. We have great business casual clothing, clothing for the whole family, including the mother, the father, the kids, the youth, and also the family dog. You can find all of these and many more great KTM accessory products at your KTM dealer. Stop by and see his catalog today. And that's today's KTM Product Spotlight.
Racer TV on OLN, brought to you by Suzuki, ITP, Rocky Mountain Moose, Yamaha, and Polaris. We're in the deep forest of Kentucky, but out of the woods is Shane Watts, number 9, the popular Australian. Hole in the radiator, and that's going to put him out for the day. Now here's Barry Hawk leading this thing through the Ampro Yamaha pit. They're going to get some goggles on, put some fuel in. You see Mullins, his teammate, is out of goggles. He needs a fresh set. Dad hands them over to him. Everyone helping out Mullins in the pits right now. They're trying to maintain the lead they have over Juha Salmon in the KTM pit. Well, they're right next door, and there he is. While the goggles were off, he got a glimpse. He now knows Mullins and Hawk are right in front of him, and that's going to be some motivation. Juha is going to be on the charge on this lap. Let's talk to Charlie Mullins' dad, Big Charlie.
Our pit stop was great. It went right on schedule, no problems. Got gas, got goggles, and on his way went, so he's right there. We'll see what happens. It's a long race. And
well, it is, and we got lap traffic in the way right now through the field. Remember, 1 lap ago, Mullins had it. Listen to the fans going nuts. They love Charlie Mullins out here. It's worth mentioning he only lives about a half hour away from here. He lives in the Cincinnati area, right over the border from Kentucky, where we're racing right now. He's got a lot of people cheering for him in the woods. Juha Salmon does not care about that. He just wants to win this race and prove once again that he is the man in this series. And although he's a nice guy, I'm sure he wouldn't mind spoiling the Charlie Mullins parade. Or for that matter, Barry Hawk, who's leading this thing, he doesn't want to see him take another win. That's for sure. Now here's Jarrett. Very good in the muddy conditions. Very, very talented Jimmy Jarrett. Look at the style as he comes through. Amazing to watch ride a motorcycle. He has had his problems with motivation and with fitness over the last couple of years, but he's been finishing the races. The confidence is beginning to go up, and he's been running in the top 5 the last couple of weeks. Here come our leaders again, Hawk and Mullins, and Juha continues to get closer and closer and closer. Now, often Juha has the lead at this point in the race, and he's trying to pull it. But either way, he is one of the fastest men in the game at riding without anyone else around him. You see this pack here? We're talking Jenks and Ridley. These guys are following each other, and most of the guys ride better when they have someone to follow. Juha is just as fast by himself, and that is why he has been able to slowly chip away at the lead of the 2 Yamaha boys up front, even though he can't quite see them yet. There's Carney trying to stay in the top 10, trying to score points. Carney was second in points early in the year, but as the Yamaha boys have picked it up, he has been going backwards. He's got to pick it up today because look at this now. Oh, wait, Juha has caught those guys. Juha has caught the Yamaha guys, and this is going to be a race now. How much energy did Juha spend catching back up? Look at Hawk trying to just cling to this off-camber. That's like riding on ice. Salmon is now the number 2 spot, and he goes all the way to the outside, just uses the berm. Well, he made up a whole bunch of time right there. He went to the berm. Where did Mullins go? So one of the Yamaha riders has fallen now to the clutches of Juha, who's moved into second. How long can Hawk last? They had a big lead over this guy, but at the same time, how much energy did Juha use to get here? And look at Mullins trying to get him back. Oh, they're motivated now, taking through the brush, just whatever line they could possibly find, even if it's not defined, wide open through that section. And Juha and Mullins battling right behind our leader, Hawk. And what a battle we have raging between these guys. Jarrett and Jenks and Whibley going at it for the number 4 position. And there is Carney, number 3 in the series last year, but he admits he is not a mud specialist. And unfortunately, that has cost him today. Now, I think that's Watts back out there. He is a lap down. He's just cruising with his buddy from Australia. He is not in the top 10. And remember, we saw him in the pits earlier today. So it continues to be Hawk out front. Juha second, Mullins in third. What an amazing charge from out of the pack by Juha Salmon to get himself back in position. But he has definitely toasted his goggles, toasted his bike, and toasted himself. Will he have anything left? Let's go to our Rocky Mountain tip of the week.
Let's start with this double storage bay from Ryder Cargo. Has 2 large bays where you can place helmets, shoes, boots, or anything else you'd like to strap down with bungees and get them up off the floor out of the way. This item from Ryder Cargo is a spark plug dispenser. Makes it very convenient. Have your spark plugs right there ready to go. pull them out, throw them in your bike. Have you ever been searching through all the drawers and all the closets in your trailer while it's dark, looking for a flashlight? Ryder Cargo has the answer. Conveniently locate this next to the entry door, and your flashlight is right there, and you can find whatever you need. The last item from Ryder Cargo is this workstation. Conveniently holds up to 6 quarts of oil in the top here, with a nice little workspace here. Put nuts and bolts, whatever you may be working on. These and other fine products available exclusively at RockyMountainATVMC.com.
Racer TV on Outdoor Life Network, brought to you by Suzuki, ITP, Rocky Mountain, Moose, Yamaha, and Polaris. Through pit row, Barry Hawk taking a look at actually Yuha's mechanic, Andy Callanan, put the pit board out early. That was actually for Juha. I don't know what it said on there. Might not have even been in English. Both those guys hail from Finland. And here we go. Juha's gotten himself into the lead. Through these grass track sections, he is lethal. Yamaha guy's going to try to stay with him, going to try to find the traction to keep Juha in sight. What a battle we have. You can see all three of these guys, the fans, coming to life to this section as well, because they know their boy Charlie Mullins is still in the hunt. Mullins had a bad lap the last time around. He has picked it up now, though. Can they stay close to Juha? Can they follow him? It's so much easier to race this guy when you can follow. And no, look, he's already put some distance on them. But how many times have we seen in the last couple of weeks, just when we think Juha has finally got things under control, he makes a mistake and allows the rest of the field to catch back up. We'll find out which scenario is about to break out today. Through the special test, different lines everywhere, riders down all over the place. The Yamaha guys still flying information. Still trying to go after Juha. Another rider down. The the cameras just don't show you how gnarly this section is.
Well, we walk down here to the finish line for the Tire Balls Spartan GNCC, and this is pretty much where I'm going to have to stay because I'm stuck in the mud myself. There is mud everywhere in this facility, the pits, the finish, the start, and of course on the rest of the racetrack, and a lot of it stuck on these bikes. From what we're able to see, though, Juha Salminen has come from way back in the pack, and he has managed to take the lead from the Yamaha boys, Hawk and Mullins. They are still right behind him, though, and considering how bad this racetrack is, I don't think any leader is safe, not even Juha, on a track like this.
2-lap card is out, 2 laps to go, and look indeed, Hawk has gotten back in front of Juha, and Juha has no goggles. He has been roosted. He's going to have to stop in the pits, at least for goggles, if not for gas. Mullins trying to stay with these guys. You see, he is hustling through pit row. Here they come again. It looks like Barry stopped for goggles, and that has allowed Juha to get back around him. A one-on-one duel here as we go back into the forest. Salminen and Hawk, mud clinging to them. A big uphill here at the 9-mile mark. It looks like that is Mullins who's moved into second now, and Hawk has lost a little bit of time. A mistake by Barry, it must have been, has allowed those two to get back out front of him and add a little distance. No one is safe on a track this gnarly, especially not through this special test. They're all using that line in the center. Hard to get your momentum up to get on top of that hill. Oh, Barry almost threw it away there. It is close. All three of these guys battling. And Wibley has broken away in a battle for a fourth. He has gotten out in front all by himself. And another rider goes down. I'm telling you what, these pros make it look a whole lot easier than it is. We're headed to checker flag. Look how close. Only one corner remains. Juha sticks to the outside, and he holds on. Juha Salminen has won the Tire Balls Spartan GNCC, and how close was that finish? Look at that. Very rarely do we see that kind of emotional display from Juha Salminen. But if you're going to win a race, you want to know you earned it, and he certainly did, coming from way back in the pack.
Yeah, it was good fun today, and I'm really happy that I can win even this kind of race, really tight. And I didn't do any mistakes in the last lap, and it was really, really good. Yeah, that's the only track this year where I've never been here, so it was fun, excited to get the new place and new track again.
Yeah, getting closer to overall win. I would have liked to win, but I'll take second. It was a fun race between me, Juha, and Barry, back and forth, and it was a good, clean race, and it was pretty tough out there, a little bit of mud, and lappers were pretty bad, but it was a good race. I think I have what it takes to win. I just need to put myself in position to be on the lead by the end of the last lap, and hopefully I can pull a win off.
I'm not happy with third. Never happy unless I win. it was a good, fun race, and glad to be up here on the podium for all the sponsors. And it's good to battle with these guys. We do have good, clean racing, and pretty much at last lap, I was trying to make stuff happen and got to push, but not be too aggressive and make a mistake. And I was hoping they made a mistake, and no one ever did. Yuha, he held us off at last lap, and it was good, fun.
And there it is. Good job by Whibley there on the Moose Racing Parts Unlimited Honda to get 4th. Robbie Jenks 5th. And how about Jesse Robinson and Thad Duvall, a pair of amateurs making their way up into the top 10. Look at our point standings. Well, Yuha just keeps piling it on. And those Yamaha guys are going to battle right to the end. Let's turn it back over to Rachel and Rodney.
Here we are at the conclusion of the Spartan GNCC. Team Yamaha, they gave Yuha the run for his money today.
Yeah, definitely, Rachel. For the last 3 races now, Charlie Mullins and Barry Hawk with Yamaha have been catching up to Yuha. Today was finally a good race right from the start. They were battling up front all day long, right to the finish line.
I know, I saw Yuha jumping up and down that finish line. I've never seen him so excited.
Yeah, definitely. Today was a hard-fought win for him, and it was exciting. Charlie Mullins and Barry Hawk both were right on him all the way to the finish. So that was a definitely hard-fought battle today.
Yeah, the racing keeps getting more intense each week. Make sure you tune in next week for Racer TV.
Thanks a lot, Rachel and Rodney. The podium celebration begins. I'm telling you what, man, that's the cleanest these guys have been for a long, long time as they spray each other down with the champagne. Great riding by everyone. Go to GNCCRacing.com for more information. We'll see you next week.
The Grand National Cross Country Championship is sanctioned by the American Motorcyclist Association. Rights, Riding, Racing. AMA. Join now. Call 1-800-AMA-JOIN.